Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for watching today. And today, a little real estate training today. We're going to go over how to capture more referrals and build up your database and things that you can be doing. I know if you've been watching my videos, you're probably sick and tired of the word database because I use it a lot because it's so important. And I'm checking Facebook, make sure it's live, and it's going live. That's good. So have been having some technical difficulty over the last few weeks. But referrals, database, it is the most important thing of your real estate career or any sales and any career at anything. So the one thing you have to think about is numbers. What's a number that you're comfortable with? In real estate, you've heard different statistics, but everybody moves, or on average, 7 to 10 years. Easy math. Everything comes down to numbers all the time. You've got to know your numbers. Example, if you have 100 good people in your database, good contacts that you've been following up with, you should, on average, be getting 7 to 10 transactions a year out of that database. It's just a clear numbers thing. So if you have 100, if you're brand new in real estate today, if you have 100 people in your database over the next year, you should have 7 to 10 transactions. Yes, of course, there's different things. It's coming up. You know, there's a little bit of luck involved. You're catching the people at the right time. Are you connecting with them right? So that's kind of what I wanted to go over today. Give you some statistics and some numbers to think about. And of course, what do we all say? Statistics. Every article, every coach, every real estate seminar you go to, everybody's going to give you a little bit different within reason, a percentage or a statistic of how things work. But if you combine all of these things and build your database, you're going to get referrals. You're going to get business. I'm going to give you one great thing that I took and I coach a lot of agents on from Tom Ferry, the great real estate coach. Tom Ferry, a great tip from him. At the end, I'm going to give it to you of something you can do to get people to call you today. So big information there. So, okay, so first, number one thing, calls. Calling people in your database. Right now, people have caller ID. They see your phone number. If you're in their phone, the 2 to 10% of people really pick up their phone. I think it's closer to about 20% of people. So that's the difference between what I see and the phone calls is that about 20% of people pick up the phone. And the good news is if you have a great database that you've been following up with, they should have your number stored in your phone. Also, calls, voicemails are great. I love voicemails. Some coaches don't. Voicemails are great. It's an advertisement. So they're going to listen to it, or most people will. Some people actually have, and I have it on my phone with my iPhone. I have where it transcribes it, so I get the gist of what the voicemail is. Think about that. If you don't know that, a lot of people have transcriptions on their voicemail. So speak clearly, get your point across of why you're calling right away, because they're going to see that first sentence or two and they might just delete you, again. But if they don't call you back or text you back telling you to stop, that was a successful call. So think about it. Calls, somewhere I feel closer to 20%. Emails, now again, you need emails. If you got emails on the people you're in your database, that's great. You need emails. It's just an easy way, a cheap way of getting monthly newsletters, general information to people. It's just an easy way to do it. And it's really around 15 to 17% open rate, and maybe you'll get a 2% return rate on that. But if you have a good database of people that you actually know, that people you've been in contact with, past clients, friends of friends, family, you'll probably get a little bit better than that. So if you have 100 people that don't even know you from Adam, maybe that's on the lower percentile. Next is private messages on Facebook. Facebook, I mean, people that are active on private messenger, not a lot of people, not everybody is, but they'll respond to that. So use private messenger for if you're connecting on Facebook, if you're say, hey, you send something, I say it's a 1-2 punch. You make a comment or you like something on their Facebook, send them a private message. You know, you don't want to put everything in their comments. Like if someone is having a baby or they're having a good time or they had a party for someone's birthday or retirement, whatever, anything that you want to just congratulate them on, make a comment on, cute photo, whatever it is, you can private message them that said, hey, just wanted to let you know I saw that great picture, great, congratulations, and then remember, keep me in mind if you ever need anything in real estate, or if it's a picture of someone that's retiring, hey, by the way, can you get me set up with your cousin? I see you were at his party and they were retiring. Maybe they might would love to be their trusted real estate advisor. Something to do, get some real estate in there. Again, you're not doing that every day, but you're doing that on a consistent basis with your database. Text messages, still one of the highest return rates. People see text messages. I've seen it over the last several years. It's going down fast. My opinion, the response rate, that is. We know they all see them, but the response rate, because other salespeople are out there, other people are, mass text, especially now with the political stuff. Anybody getting those political texts? I'm getting them on both sides. So text messages are great, but it's a success. Remember this. This is my view and from texting for years, is if they don't reply, it's a good sign. So easy for people to click stop, sorry, I'm not interested. It's so easy for them to say no. They don't have to talk to you. They don't have to see your face. If they don't say no, continue to text. Not every day, every week, month, quarterly, whatever you are putting your database together. So texts are good. No response is still better than a response that says, take me off your list. So anybody watching out there, they're teaching this to salespeople. So if you're one of those people that are getting sales texts from other places, just on a consumer side of things, and you're not texting back stop or anything like that, they're not going away. And when you're on the sales side of things, don't go away. Because I get texts, I get emails, and I don't reply. But if I don't unsubscribe or don't reply, that means I'm thinking about it someday, or maybe I just want to see what's going on. So if they're not unsubscribing to your emails, or not texting you back or private messaging you back saying stop, that means it's still good in my book. Next, mail. Mail's one of the lowest, 2 to 3%, maybe get up to 5% a response rate. But in a few minutes, I'm going to give you exactly what you can do with mail, with other avenues to get those response rates. Facebook ads. You can do Facebook ads. You could actually upload your list of people to Facebook. There's a way to do it. I'm sorry, I'm not a 100% expert on Facebook ads, but I'm familiar with it enough where I know that it's easy, can be done, to upload your contacts, your database into there, and they will look for them, find them, and kind of group them together with other people, similar people like that. So you can do it. So your ads will go on your database of your people in Facebook, so you can be in front of them. And when they see your ad on Facebook, they're like, wow, what's the, they just assume that you're just some huge, salesperson, or wow, how are they coming up on my Facebook and then regular ad? So there's ways to do it, and very cost effective. So now I'm going to give you some things to think about, some things you could do, specifically 5 things that you could do with your database. 1, create a monthly plan. You got to have a plan. You got to have like texting, emailing, private messaging, message on Facebook. You have to allot the time. You got to do it. Go in all different avenues and figure out a plan that is easy for you to manage, that how much time you're going to spend on it a day. How much time are you, make calls. You have to you got to put it all down on a spreadsheet and organize it in a calendar. Two is you have to have, your database has to be updated all the time. Integrity of your database. You have to make sure every time you're contacting someone or looking through your database, almost everybody in your database should be, I have their email, I have their phone number, as much as possible. Make sure their address is correct. You should be always spending time reviewing your database, making sure it's in there. The one thing that I've done on Facebook, and one thing you can do on Facebook to make sure your Facebook, if you're really using your Facebook for advertising and getting your database and friending your database on Facebook, the one thing I do is I try to do it daily as much as possible for birthdays. Almost everybody has their birthday on Facebook, so it's a way for every year you go through that your Facebook, and maybe there's 5 birthdays today. Okay, pick those 5 people on Facebook. Look at their profiles. See if there's someone you want to keep on your database. See if their information is updated on your contact CRM or contact management system is the same. And it's a way, in bite-sized pieces, like spreading it over 365 days, is taking just a couple people instead of sitting there for hours. So you know that every year you're kind of churning and looking at your database through Facebook is one of the ways that I do that. 3, you could graph your database of where they live. There's ways with Google Maps. There's other applications you can do, and how to upload a list of addresses. So if you have a lot of addresses of your database, you could upload that and get a whole market of where everybody lives. You might have a group of them living together in the same area, especially if you get a new listing or a buyer. Imagine this, you got a buyer, and it's a way of communicating. You've got a buyer that's looking in whatever city, and there's nothing that they're looking for in that city. There's limited supply. Imagine how nice it would be if you could click a button or look on a spreadsheet or use your program and search for all the people in your database that you know that you're connecting with that live in that area. Imagine you calling 10 people or 20 people, how many in your database in that city, going, hey, hi, Jane and Bob, this is Tony with Central Tour and HomeStar. I have a buyer in your area and there's limited inventory. I was just calling you to check in and see how you're doing. See, you sold your house. You bought your house 7 years ago with me. I was just interested. Maybe you might be interested of selling, or maybe you know a neighbor or friend. It's a conversation that you could have with them. And then they see you're active and you're trying to help your buyer. So you could map your database, see where everybody's living, so you can make those calls. And if you get a new listing in the area, same thing. It's just a call, another call to those people, and it could be more often. So say you got a buyer this month and then a new listing next month. You don't want to call them 2 months in a row for just general stuff, but you say, hey, Jane and Bob, I talked to you last month about a new buyer I had. Now I have a new house to sell. Do you know anybody, friends, family, anybody you know that want to move in the area? I just listed it yesterday, and it's just hitting the market. So maybe you know someone that might want to jump on it now. Another reason to call them. Now, that's beautiful information and ways to connect with your database. 4, use Facebook ads, like I said, and upload your people. And you can have look-alike. There's ways that they could add to your Facebook ads. Like, what I mean is that you upload your list, and there's a few buttons that you could click where it could say, find look-alike audience. So they'll take all the people that you upload, take all of their general information, their bots and things, and figuring out what they're interested in, where they live, where they work, all that stuff. And then they'll find people like that and have a look-alike audience. So when those ads go out, if people click on it, they can see maybe your friends or with someone that's a friend or family of theirs. It's a way of building your Facebook and target marketing your Facebook ads. And then 5, this is it. This is the one thing that you can do to get people to reply to you. And this is straight from Tom Ferry. It's a great idea. I know agents are getting a response from this. And first, this is what you do. If you want to contact someone that's in your database, you could spend every day on this, you could spend once a week on this. Go to Zillow, hit Zestimates, type in their address, and find out what their Zestimate is on Zillow. So many people are doing that, saying, look at my value. And, of course, controversy with real estate agents. I won't even go into that, of what we feel about Zestimates. But imagine that Zestimate comes out $250,000, but their value is $275,000, $300,000, whatever. Tom came up with that great idea of printing it out or screenshotting it for an email, a text message, a private message, or mail, and just say, hey, Jane and Bob, this is Tony with Century 21 HomeStar. Here's a Zestimate of, I just printed out from Zillow today. I know your house is worth more than this. Feel free to contact me if you're interested to find out what your current house value is of today. So you're sending this out to them. Everybody wants to know the value of their house. They want to see what's going on with the market. They'll either even be upset that Zillow is out there in the public eye saying their house is worth this and their house is really worth more. You're going to get people to call you back. Oh, how do I change that? Well, Zillow has their own things, but it's a way to communicate with them. You can do that quarterly, 2 times a year, once a year. It could be an email. It could be a text message with an image. You can mail it if you want. But again, put it in your monthly plan of your database. So that's the number one thing that you can do today to get someone to call you back or text you. Imagine you take a screenshot of Zillow. You go on Zillow on your phone, take a screenshot. You see they're there. You should send a text message to one of your people in your database. Hey, I was on Zillow today, checking some of my clients' values that I've sold their house before, bought a house before, and this is what it says for you, but I know your house is worth more. If you're interested in talking more, call me. You're gonna get a text message back. If you don't, you might have the wrong number for those people. Everybody wants to know what you think their value, especially when you show them that someone else thinks it's worth less. So that's it for today. Hopefully that information might help you get information about your database, what things you should be thinking about. It's a numbers game. It's simply a numbers game. If you don't have a certain number of people, you got to start with that and make sure that you're using all of these avenues, have it organized, and have a monthly plan of how to reach out with your people. It works. It works. It works. It works. It does. It does. And it can work for anybody out there that really wants to work at it. So that's it for today. Tomorrow at 11, we'll go over some more great ideas and some motivation. So everybody have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow at 11. Bye-bye.